Come up with our
So let's see, a little more fun. Okay, today's big day. It's all about parenthetical documentation, bibliography page, also known as works cited page, and the whole NLA business. So, if there's ever a day to take notes, it is today. I've got some handouts for you. We do have vocab. We'll get to that at the end of the set if there's time. There may actually not be time. Questions from Brooke?
We'll just be online.
You can get you some of it online. It's a really good idea to have some of your own notes to complete this paper. Okie dokie. So, everybody get a page ready. Put a date on it. Label it parenthetical documentation. You guys are scheduled for the library, obviously not tomorrow, because you don't have class tomorrow. You have your library day on Thursday.
Monday.
I have also, all right, I'll wait. I have also reserved cards for you for Friday again. Hopefully, as usual, I always put this disclaimer on everything. Just because I sign up for a card doesn't mean a card's going to be there. Sometimes I have to go and hunt one down, but tentatively, you have 2 more research days this week. So, keep reading your book. You still want to get to the night. You still want to have a check on it next week. Question from Jeff. Oh, very good question. Friday.
What?
Right. By Friday,
No
you will
card.
have 3 days of inside research, and you will show me 35. Now, will you need some more? We decided that yes, you will. We decided that 35 is not going to be enough for a 6-page paper. So on Friday, if I am lucky enough to get that card, you will make some more. Minimum 35 to show me.
Sorry.
Exactly. And this is a district project. I didn't make it up. It's what I'm expected to do, and it's the procedure they expect us to follow, and that's what we're doing. Questions? No, source cards are separate. That's called your preliminary bibliography, and I checked that separately. But that's easy. That's just 3 cards. Okie dokie. All right, this whole documentation thing. It's a simple thing, some very simple principles, and your life has been made incredibly simple. Back in the days when the dinosaurs were roaming the earth, this is how we did this, out of this book. It is the MLA Handbook for Writers of Research Papers. They still have this in the library. It is still the Bible of this whole set of principles. If you ever need to know anything and you can't find it online the way I show you today, just go and look in their book that's in the library. You can look in mine too. I thought this was my new version of the book. I looked at the copyright, it's from 1992, so it's obviously outdated, but the basic principles still apply. What's happened between 92 and now? Of course, we're using a lot more online resources. There are a lot more credible online resources. And there are a lot more ways to document them, and there are a lot more ways online to get the answers that you need. But this remains the Bible. MLA stands for Modern Language Association, okay? I also told you there are 2 other ways of doing this. APA, that stands for American Psychological Association. That used to be the standard for any scientific paper. Now it just depends on what, and there's one other called Chicago. But now it doesn't depend on what kind of paper you're doing, it's what school you go to. So for the next 4 years, all you have to worry about, or 3.5 years I should say, is MLA, because that's what we do here. Depending on where and when you go for higher education, you will find out what's expected of you there. Do you have to memorize any of it? No. You can always go to the book, or you can go online. It's so easy now. Alex has a question.
No.
No? You're okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me know. Let me know. All right, so, why do we do this? Well, we think we do it so we don't get caught cheating in school, plagiarizing. And that's part of it. And I do have a lot to say to you today about plagiarizing. Okay, I've seen some terrible things happen to people just because they were too lazy to do their own research, just because they lost time, they ran out of time, they copied somebody else's paper, they didn't take the time to document properly. Some awful things happen if you plagiarize. In this school, it goes downstairs with the discipline referral. Generally speaking, Mr. Nelson handles it. There is a policy in place. He's usually pretty liberal about the policy. It doesn't go on your permanent record and you do it a couple of times. But once it gets on your permanent record, think of the consequences. Here's Joe Smith. Here's you. You and Joe Smith have equal grades, same amount of community service, same sports and activities participation, okay? Joe Smith never plagiarized, you did. Who's getting into school? Joe Smith. Joe Smith's getting in, because they don't want cheaters and plagiarizers on their campus. They want people who have confidence in their own writing voice and who understand how to synthesize information. In private schools, sometimes it gets you thrown out. I had a friend. She was an immigrant to this country, worked as a domestic servant in someone's beautiful home in Virginia, wanted the very best for her son, was working night and day to put him in private school. She decided she was going to help him one night with his French homework. She went online, not really understanding the implications of this. I think she should have understood, but she didn't. Helped him do a French translation with the aid of a website. What do you think happened to the kid? Booted right out. Booted right out of private school, no ifs, ands, or buts. We generally don't boot you out of school here, but if you're a repeat offender and it goes downstairs several times, it goes on your permanent record and it could hurt you. It's just not worth it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Teachers take it very, very, very seriously. We almost take it as a personal insult. Yes, we take it very personally. So, stay away from Wikipedia. Go on Wikipedia if you want to get an overview of something. Let it lead you to other sources. Don't ever quote SparkNotes. If you want to go to SparkNotes and find out what happened in the 3 chapters you were supposed to read last night, great. But don't use it as a source for research papers. I assure you it's the first thing that comes up if we go to check. It's the easiest thing to check. And teachers really take that to heart because that should never be used as a source. Ever. You can let it lead you to other sources. You can let it help you understand the works of literature you're reading, but it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. And as far as getting papers online, I was grading a 10th grader's paper one time, and he used the word oeuvre. And I said to him, what's an oeuvre? He had no idea. It's a word like a genre. He didn't even know what that meant. So, generally speaking, these papers are written by graduate students, and you're going to get caught because, generally speaking, the level of the language is going to give it away, and they're very easy to find online. And don't copy from each other. I've also had experiences of collecting papers, and I don't know what people are thinking about, but you pick up papers by the row, and then I sit home at my kitchen table with my cup of tea on Sunday afternoon to grade papers, and kids that handed me papers, one right on top of another, gave me the same paper. Hello? Did you think I wouldn't see that? Did you think I wouldn't remember that? So then it goes downstairs to Mr. Nelson, and it's a big scandal, and we have to call home, and of course, nobody wants to think that their child copied. I got into it with a mom one year of a senior who said, oh no, Johnny took the paper. Johnny took my son Jimmy's paper off the printer and copied it. Okay. All righty.
So that sounds like a likely answer.
Well, neither Johnny nor Jimmy were the sharpest tool in the shed, so I don't know whatever became of them, and of course I'm using code names. But the point is, just don't do it. You'll get a reputation, and plus, you want to go through your education developing your own writing voice. A lot of you are athletes, so you participate in different activities. You don't want somebody substituting for you at the practice or at the event.